Hello and welcome to another live stream on this wonderful weekend. And hold on one second, guys. I fixed my stuff. Anyways, yeah. I hope you guys having a wonderful weekend. And I believe it's Saturday. Is it Saturday? I don't even know what day it is. I don't know. I've been in the editing room all day. I've been trying to wrap up the videos again. Got some videos that in the past that I didn't put up, and I have to go back and put them up again. But tomorrow's going to be about that Petfest and hanging out with some YouTubers and stuff like that. But yeah. But before we go on, first of all, some announcements. That Aquascape contest that was supposed to be this weekend has been canceled. Sorry, I didn't make an earlier announcement about it on Facebook. But I totally forgot when he told me. I think a few days ago, I got notice of it. But just didn't get enough people to attend. But it seemed like it was like put together in the last minute kind of thing. So live and learn kind of thing. But yeah, the other thing is next month, Scape Meet. All right, for those guys in Southern California, if you haven't been yet, please go. It's so awesome. Our Scape, our local club meeting, is really, really, big, especially on this meet. We have these like few meets once in a while, these bigger meets once in a while, and this is one of them. But the club is under, I guess, new management. And Cole. His name is Cole. He's our new president. He's actually ramping stuff up. Got really back interested in the club lately about that. I've been talking to him just now before the stream. But the news is that I will be speaking on that meet next month, July 21st, in West Covina at CK Fish World. And I'll be doing a presentation on aquascaping. So yeah, I think that's what I came up with, aquascaping. So yeah, be there. Let's talk, let's chat face to face kind of thing. And come and listen to me speak. Not that you don't already do that on YouTube, but it'd be kind of cool to meet all the new folks that I haven't really seen yet, and all the old folks that I love. Hopefully you guys will come down. It's a huge auction, lots of fun food and events and stuff like that. So make sure you don't miss that. Again, a lot of things are changing in that club. We're moving the club. Well, I don't know why you're saying weird, but I think I'm getting more involved with it after talking with Cole. But we'll see. But we're going to push that club and do more the new tech stuff, the new media stuff. Try to get new blood in, and kind of, get the old guards and the new guards together kind of thing. I don't know. A lot of speaky deaky planning stuff. But yeah, glad you guys could make it to the live stream. Shout out to go to Tampa Tom, Gabe's Aquarium. Oh, Gabe, how you doing, buddy? That is the scissors guy. I totally will remember you because you are the scissors guy, the guy that waited around for about 3 or 4 hours on a $5 auction of scissors that he really wanted. I thought that was very funny. I don't know why, but I thought it was funny. Past the dirt road, how you doing, my man? Glad to see you here today. M54 Punchy, how you doing, kiddo? How we Oddbug Aquatics, how you doing, babe? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if babe is politically correct nowadays. But that's usually the way I talk. I don't know. But yeah, her name's Haley, so let's just go with Haley. Let's see. Who else we got in the chat here? Looks like a lot of people, which sounds good. Hey Jay, how you doing? One of our newest moderators in our Facebook group. So we'll give him some love. Show up in the Facebook group. Tell him that you love him. Just because you love him. I don't know. Do it for me, I guess. Just so that he knows he's wanted, because I don't show him any love. I barely even talk to him. I barely talk to most of my mods nowadays. I don't know. Maybe I'm, nor my mods. I gotta say hello more often and chat with them. Shishi Bubble Nest is in the house. How you doing, Shishi? Glad to see you on board today. Hope you guys are doing good. People saying hi and hellos. Hey, Wolf and Beer, love the name. Awesome name. My volume's really low, is it? I don't know why. Hello, can you hear me now? Is it better? Sound like that Verizon guy. Let me try to fix my sound. Hopefully it's not that bad. Oh, my sound's all the way up. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a shout out. Hopefully. Oh, no problem, Haley. Well, I'll talk to you later. Lumpy Dog is in the house. How you doing, Lumpy Dog? Long time no talk or speaketh. She doing well. Yeah, I've been busy, Petfest and work and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been Petfest last weekend, and I'll talk a little more about that. Oh, you just turn up your volume? How low is it? How low is it? How low can I go? Oh, okay, I do sound fine. All right. Sorry if I blasted those people that said it sounded fine. Randy guy, how you doing, buddy? You gotta go to the meet next month, bro. You got bail out on your friend. You go to the meet, man. Talk to you again, man. It's been a long time. Well, has it been a long? Yeah, it's been a long time. Hey TK, how you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to give you a heart attack. Now you can hear me really well. Okay, hopefully it doesn't lower the sound again. I think I know what the problem is. I had to reinstall my drivers the other day. Alif Nadzarim Azmi. Sorry, I butchered your name though. But welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. Wow, lots of people today. Nice. Be right back running an LFG. Wow. What is it, just down the street or something? Hey, Joseph Stanley, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. If you guys got any questions or anything, just hit it up in chat and we'll go over it. But yeah, so last weekend I went to Petfest. Joey made the announcement that he was going to Petfest on one of his videos, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh, Arizona, 6-hour drive away, not a big deal. I love long drives, even though it's by myself. I like the long drives by myself because I can reflect, A lot of it has to do with, what I'm doing with the channel and stuff, and where I'm going to go with it and stuff. And, like always, it's just one of the things like, you have an event, you're not sure if you want to go or not, and then when you get there, you just totally love it, and then by the end of it, you hate it, it's the end, because you had such a fun time. But, yeah, I went to Petfest. It was a smaller event, but it was really cool. It was more of a glorified meet and greet with all these PetTubers. Not just FishTubers, but PetTubers, and there's a few of them that I know. I have this weird thing where, like, if someone who watches my channel that comes up to me on an event or something talks to me, no problem. I talk to them, but for some reason I have a problem talking with other YouTubers, and it's not that I don't want to talk to them, and hopefully I hope they know that, because I do watch some of their videos on their channel and I'm subscribed to them. Even though they're just PetTubers and I'm more of a fish guy, I think my biggest problem is starting the conversation. I mean, how can you go to say, hey, I enjoy your channel, but I only watch 1 or 2 of your videos once 3 months ago kind of thing. So I don't know how that, usually starts. Usually, I don't have a problem when I'm introduced to someone by someone, someone that I already know. So, that's a different thing that I could get, more talkative. But I'm really quiet around these events a lot with other YouTubers that I don't really know. But unless I already know them, like Joey or Rob from Flip Aquatics that were there, then it's not a big deal. It's like, we hung around each other all the time kind of thing. But for some reason, I have really, like Lori Hart, I know her channel. I watch her channel. It's Anna Louise. I watch her channel. Mostly I watched her beta fish videos that she had up a while ago, but I'm still subscribed to her kind of thing. But I wanted to say, hey, nice channel, but I didn't want to say, hey, nice channel, I enjoy what you do, but I've only seen 1 or 2 videos of yours a year ago kind of thing. So it was kind of weird. I was just like, how do I approach this? And usually I don't. Anyways, I have to be more outgoing at these events and talk to more of the YouTubers and network more. I mean, I used to do it all the time with my gaming tabletop channel. And I think that's where it stems from. I told Rob Flip Aquatic in the car when we're going out to dinner that, I seem so quiet, but it's just I'm just so used to doing my gaming channel where everyone knew who I was and always came up to. I didn't have to initiate the conversation. They always came up to me and initiated, so. Yeah, Arizona. Very the guy says Arizona, a beautiful state. Yes, it is, but it is hot as heck. we're out there. I mean, literally hot. I mean, I was just going, yeah, this is way hotter than Southern California. Not a cool thing. Lumpy Dog, dwarf aquarium lily root feeder or water column. Dwarf lily, it's a root feeder. And if you do it really well, it'll just grow crazy on you. Right? Give it a lot of nutrient, give it a nutrient-based substrate. Give it a lot of CO2 and a lot of light, and the thing would just grow. If you watched my Dutch tank video, then you see that I actually had a dwarf lily. I don't know why they call it dwarf. It just blew up in it, and it blew up in like a couple of weeks. I had to take it out because it stopped fitting the scale of the aquascape, and it just became a huge mass. It was gorgeous, though. It was gorgeous. But yeah, I met a lot of people there and stuff like that. I mainly went there to just say hi to Rob and Joey, and since I was just that close, and I wanted to meet a guy named Petfest. He has a channel called Dark Den. He does mainly exotic pets, mainly tarantulas and stuff. But I watched his channel a lot about tarantulas and stuff, so I wanted to say hi and meet him. But yeah, it was great. I thought I was just gonna do that for an hour or two and then just go hang out in my hotel room or whatever. But then Joey came up to me and said, hey, they have this cool aquarium. You want to go? Let's shoot some video there. I'm like, hell yeah, why not? That's kind of what we do. I wasn't even planning to really film anything. I had my camera just out of habit. Because when you go places, you never know when you want to make a video for the channel. So I wasn't sure I was going to make a video about it. So it just ended up a good thing, having all the cameras and stuff with me. So yeah, we went to the aquarium. That was so super fun. And then I think afterwards, what we did was we went over to this big local fish store, and you guys will see it in the video tomorrow. And you've probably already seen it in a couple other channels you might be subscribed to. But it's huge. They took an old ice rink and made a fish store out of it. It's like awesome. This is like tremendously big. So yeah, we went and checked that out. And we had a lot of fun in there. And then we just went to dinner. And it was a nice day. It was a really awesome day. I didn't think I was going to do all that stuff, but yeah. But that was totally funnage. A lot of tons of fun stuff. Brandon guy says my dwarf aquarium lily can actually get pretty big too. Yeah, they do. I don't know why they call it dwarf. It's crazy. Hey James Doe, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great this afternoon. But yeah, again, anyone have any questions? It just seems like I've answered all your questions mostly, but usually there are new people that come in and just say hi and stuff and have a question about stuff. But yeah, anyways, there's a lot more videos coming. Like I said, I still have that Aquashella video that I have never put out. I need to put that out. But that was definitely a fun time there. Then you guys, there's a video that I'm making that you guys will probably love. I totally let that 20-gallon long go that I always talk about. Mainly because I got so sick and tired of the dwarf hairgrass. Is it dwarf hairgrass? No, not dwarf hairgrass. Dwarf sagittaria. I overtook my tank. I just let it go. It's all full of algae, string algae and stuff. It looks horrible. So I just kind of said, well, let's let it go and make it horrible, because I'm going to start the video with it being horrible, because we have to do some rescaping on that. I have to change some stuff. I have to add the sand cap back because the dwarf sagittaria ate all the sand cap. I don't know how it does that, but when I pulled out half of a mat of it that took over one side of the tank, I was just seeing how it worked. I pulled out maybe about 6-inch by 6-inch mat, and it just pulled out all the sand, and it just, I guess, grew into that mass of roots that it had, and it was heavy as heck. But yeah, I think that'd be a nice fun video. Just see me revamp a tank that's in the middle of going dead. All my fishes in there are fine. Even though it just seems like it's going up, my readings are fine. All my plants are eating the hell out of the nitrates up. So that was just one of those really cool things that you discover, that, indeed, if your tank is overfilled with super duper amount of plants, it does eat up all those nitrates and, help filters the water. I mean, I still have a filter going on that, but it's just amazing that I haven't done a water change in it. Okay, and don't hate me for this. in 3 months, right? No, 3-4 months. It's been a while. Okay, let's put it that way. It's been a long time that I forgot when I did the last water change on it, and it's still going. You know, go figure. But then I have all those plants in there taken care of, help filtering the water and stuff. It just looks like a mess. My fish are loving it though. They're fine. They still eat like pigs. There's no problems. They're swimming around. They're doing their thing. So yeah, did I say Tampaton? I say hi to Tampaton. Tom, all right? Daddy's Fish Tanks, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to the chat. Oh, nice. Vernon guy said that he added Harissa swords, nice plants. Some Blixa japonica, again, nice plants. And Hygro pinifilda. Pinifida. Ah! Jeez, me and my pronunciation. I can't pronounce any words. To my 40 breeder, and can't wait till it grows in. This definitely gonna look good. Let me know. Send me a pic. Lumpy Dog, how long does red root floaters root get? How long do red root will light intensity impact the root length? Thanks again. That one I'm not too sure. I'm not too knowledgeable about floaters. So I really couldn't tell you. I know some floater plants don't grow that long of roots, and some do. I mean, like the water cabbages. Oh, those roots just grow forever. So, not too sure on that, Lumpy Dog. Wolf and Beer asks, how often should I fert and can I overfert? I'm currently using tropical green and brown ferts. I'm not sure what brown ferts are. But how often should you fert? Depends on your regimen. You fert as much as you can give, as the plants need. That's a little hard to explain how to figure it out. Mainly it's all by touch and feel. Well, it's more like sight and feel, I guess. See how your plants are doing and fert it. Now you could go on something like a scheduled kind of dosing regimen, like EI dosing or ppm dosing, where you just put a certain amount of ferts in your tank and make sure that you have more than enough for your plants. Now you can overfert. That's not a problem. It's not going to really do much, other than possibly giving you algae bloom. So you don't want to overfert, where there's just so much ferts in your tank that your plants can't eat all of it, right? Or can't take it up. Then you're just going to start getting algae blooms. So you don't want to do that. So you kind of want to balance it out. The thing about EI dosing is the concept of EI dosing, which is what I like because it's really, really easy, is that you follow this plan of dosing your macros and micros, right? And you give an overabundance of fert for your plants. Okay, so every day you're adding this much fert to your tank, and it's an overabundance. They'll always have more than enough ferts and never run out. All right, but the trick is that you reset the tank every 1 day a week, right? Like every Sunday, I would reset my tank by doing a 50% water change, right? It resets all the ferts, and then I'll start the dosing regimen back up again for another week, and then reset it again, and that's how you keep the algae from coming back, assuming that your tank is balanced, right? In that sense. So, can you overfert? Yes. Do you want to? Probably not. Only because you just don't want the algae bloom. Okay, it's not going to hurt anything. But for us, we don't want to see algae in our tank. So that's why. That's why you have to try to keep a good balance. And fert as much as your plants need. Or if you do overfert, reset your tank. Right? Reset it with water change and stuff. If you do water changes, let's say 20% water change, it's not going to be a big deal if you overfert just a little bit. Right? That water change is going to help cull that too much fert. But if you do something like EI dosing, that's the reason why you would do a 50% water change every week. Normally you don't do that much water changes on a tank. It's just, there's no point. It's just too much. James Doe, do you have plans to get a monster tank? No. If I had space and room, yes. But currently I don't. I'm more of an aquascaper, and I don't mind smaller tanks because I could set the aquascape up in a way that I see it as art or what have you. But I do like monster fish. I just don't have the room for a monster tank for monster fishes. If I do that, then I have to give up a lot of tanks for doing aquascaping. So normally no. Maybe one day if I move, get a bigger place. Yeah, maybe I'll build the aquarium like Joey. That'd be a fun project. Hey, Select Pet, how are you doing? Welcome to the chat. Veranda guy, do you water column dose your dirty tanks when you're using CO2 or higher light? If so, how much? Yes, depending on the tank. Like right now, I don't. On my 20-gallon long that I always talk about, no, don't need to. It's dirted, so there's more than enough nutrients coming out of the soil that, I mean, you can just look at tank. There's just so much. There's a lot. First of all, a lot of algae, but there's just so much growth in my tank, and I don't even have CO2 going anymore. I just have the light, and it's really close. That's why I'm giving so much algae to the tank itself. So I have to raise that light just to balance out the tank, but I've been too lazy to do that. So again, I'm gonna make a video about like recovering that tank. So that'd be a fun video. But do I dose my water column? Yes and no. Depends on the tank. If I'm doing a Dutch style tank, I would probably wait a couple months before I start dosing the water column, but I would dose it just for the reason that I'm using an EI dosing method and I'm resetting the tank. So it doesn't matter if I have overabundance of ferts in the tank. I'm following this regimen, a strict regimen of where it'll keep the ferts down long enough so that there's no algae blooms. But again, it's really up to you on that. If your dirty tank is providing more than enough nutrients, and I think you're experienced enough to know whether or not your plants are getting the right nutrients, then you can either dose it or not dose it. Really, it depends on you. You could just leave it alone and then just watch your plants and figure out, oh, well, the plants turn yellow, I need more potassium, then I'll just dose potassium. You could do that way because you have a very rich substrate. Again, everything's all about balance your tank. Asking a question about a tank is really hard for me to answer when I don't know how you had it all set up, how everything's in your tank. It's so different that I can't just give you a blanketed answer. Actually, for ferting, I can't. You can over-fert, just make sure you don't do it too much where you're getting algae blooms. Okay? Hopefully that helps. TK asks, so my nitrites and nitrates, when checked, were through the roof. Would that be from my fertilizer? I use API leaf zone. I did water changes. No, that does not mean it's not. Your fert can't cause that. The only thing it causes is that somehow your biomedia got resetted, and I don't know how that would happen. Did you have a power outage? Anything weird like that? Fertilizer will not make nitrites spike. The only reason why nitrites will spike is because your bacteria balance is off for some reason. I checked your filter. Make sure that you're getting enough flow going through your filter. JH Aquatics, how you doing, Joseph? Glad to see you on board. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, my man. Thanks for the info about ferts. No problem. Vernetti guy actually has a good point. Good questions. How old is your tank? What does your filtration look like? Sounds more like an issue with the cycle. Exactly what I just said. It is. Again, check your cycle. Check to make sure your filtration's going all right. Your flow going in your filtration is all right as well. The reason why he asked how old the tank is if it's really old, you might have old tank syndrome, which does happen. I just never really had that happen to me because, well, my tanks never get that old. I'm very impatient. I keep rebooting it and doing something else with them. So, yeah, if you could answer those questions, maybe we could answer out. Vernon the guy, I just dirted last night. First time doing dirt tank. Nice. Right now in the beginning, I just have a 6-hour photo period, good amount of par and CO2 going. All right, let it go. Don't dose. Wait. All right, because you're going to, first of all, probably have an ammonia spike. Did you check your readings yet? So let that cool down a couple weeks. All right. You're running CO2. You have good amount of par, so you must have good lighting. 6-hour photo period. Leave it at 6 hours just to double check on the algae bloom. Did you dry start it, or did you just wet? Did you go in all wet? Don't ask. If someone came in the middle of our chat about aquariums, they might get the wrong idea. But yeah, did you dry start, or did you just go in all wet, baby? Oh, that was bad. All right. So, yeah, first time doing that, just hold off because you're going to get a spike. So make sure you just keep an eye on your readings. You really don't need FERT right away. You don't need to dose your water column right away with the dirty tank. In some cases, you might even need to dose it at all for a while. So just keep your eyes on it. This is your first time. Keep doing your readings once a week for about a month or two, just to see how well it goes. But for right now, yeah, don't bother dosing. You really don't need to. You can, but there's really not much of a need to. Oh, TK, the tank's a month and a half old. Yeah, it's not that thin. It's not old tank syndrome. I'm hanging on back. Large sponge filter. I'm starting it from an old filter. Ooh, that is definitely weird. The only thing I think of is something happened. You hang on the back and it stopped flowing the water through or something. Yeah, it looks like your cycle got whacked for some reason. So I just let it go. Do you have fish in it now? Wolf and Beer. Any advice for growing Monte Carlo? Yeah, just plant it. That thing is so easy to grow. It can grow in moderate, maybe even low light. And if you give it CO2 and moderate light, that thing will just grow out of control. Monte Carlo, again, is the easiest of carping plants to grow, I think, next to dwarf hairgrass. So, yeah, just plant them in. Make sure you give it good lighting. Even better if you give it CO2. Bernard guy says 10-gallon. Oops, said. It's a 10-gallon tank. S-Rapins, dwarf hairgrass, crypt, flamingos, purple flame sword, pinwheel sword. Wow, the belly. You just went all variety there, huh? Duanoi, AR minis, and let's see. What? Yeah, this is a 10-gallon tank. That's a lot of plants. Yeah, all wet. All right, got it. All right, so you started all wet. You're good. I'll leave it alone. All right, just let it go. Just watch your spikes, your ammonia spikes. Mainly because you don't want to get that much algae, and also you don't want to ammonia burn your plants. Joseph Stanley, how much iron do I need to dose a 29 yaw? I've been doing 3 mils once a week of Seachem iron. All right, for Seachem iron, the bottle with liquid iron, you just follow the instructions. Okay, for them, I don't remember what the instructions are for that, but just follow the instructions on how many per, I think 10 gallons or 5 gallons or whatever, and just go with that. And that should be more than enough iron you need. Just make sure you do not overdose on iron. That will cause algae. So just follow the instructions and try not to overdose. Okay? For iron, you don't really want to overdose. It's better to underdose a little and then adjust up from that. Better if you had your iron in your substrate. Which, if you've seen in my videos, I tend to put clay into my dirty tanks or into my substrates. It doesn't have to be dirty. It can be just regular substrate that you buy, and I usually put pellets in there or clay in there just to give roots iron. It just works way much more better than dosing iron in your water column. But yeah, for how much, yeah, just follow the directions on the Seachem bottle. They have a different mix. For iron, for me, I dose dry ferts mainly. I rarely buy liquid ferts anymore. It's just cost effective. It's much more cost effective to get dry ferts, powders. They work a lot more better, and there's a lot more control on measurements and stuff like that. So, you have some red plants. If you have some red plants, you want to make them red. Your main concern is lighting, not iron. Okay, that's a misconception. Iron helps, but lighting is what's going to make that plant red. Okay, the more intense lighting it's going to have, and the more red the plant's going to be. If that makes any sense. If not, you check out my lighting series. I do touch base a little on that. The redness that comes with plants is mainly dependent on the intensity of the light and not iron, though iron does help. Right? You don't want to starve the plants of iron, but you want to give it enough that it has iron and make it really red. Hit it with light. Ready to go. You just stuffed that whole tank with all these plants, huh? It's crazy. Ah, I knew someone was going to ask that. JH Aquatics asks, why do you have a helmet in your tank? Now, he's asking that because when I was out with the guys at Petfest, I was putting away my camera and I had a helmet in my tank, in my trunk. I pulled it out and showed it to Joe. He's like, oh, cool. He's good. And he put it on. So, why did I carry a helmet? Well, that was actually from my tabletop gaming days. That helmet was supposed to be a prize for one of my painting contests. Well, I don't know. I used to run tabletop gaming channel. We did stuff like miniatures, wargaming with miniatures and stuff like that. Mainly wargaming, I guess, is what you guys might know that as. We talk about painting miniatures. I teach people how to paint miniatures, and then we have battle reports where we play a game on the table and we film it and all that stuff. Well, since ever since I taught miniature painting, there's this whole community of miniature painters that mainly painted miniatures and had more to do with painting miniatures than actually playing the game. So that's a huge community there in itself, and that community is all about being an artist, painting little figures, just like painting a painting, on a canvas. But our canvas is little miniatures. So we have competitions for it, like best painted and stuff like that, how well you do and stuff. I used to run a painting competition circuit where we had a painting competition that we placed at big events throughout the year. And everyone would go to these events and basically submit their piece into the painting competition. And there's a journeyman track and there's the master's track, and we just try to cover it all, for the people who are beginning and learning how to paint contest to people who are really masters at doing it, master the craft and stuff like that. So in each place that we had our competition, and it's usually back to the same place every year, there's certain pieces that you could win. The first place, the grand prize, at a convention called Las Vegas Open, we gave out a sword. Okay, that was the sword, the dragon sword. And the whole point about the whole circuit is that you travel the circuit, you keep track of the scores, the judges put in the comments about how well you're doing your painting and stuff, and you can track all that. So if you go to these competitions, you can actually see, I wrote a program that actually tracked your progress in your painting, and how well you do in painting and stuff like that. And you would go travel around the circuit, and you would collect. The whole point is to win first place, and collect all these pieces. Like I said, LVO is a sword. The Captain Con, it's another event that we held it at. It was going to be a gauntlet. So you collect a whole piece of armor and become the Dragon Slayer. Right, and then at the end of the year, we have one special competition that we were working on. This is before I had my heart attack and decided not to do it anymore because it was just so stressful to run all these events. Is that we were going to bring back all the grand prize winners into one main competition, and whoever won that competition won the Dragon's Head. It was a Dragon Head trophy that you would hang on your wall. So that we had this whole circuit and stuff going in. It was a fun time. It was a lot of fun times, and we had a great time doing it. But at the end, it was just so much stress that I had to travel all around the country while I'm doing a full-time job and all that stuff. So it took a lot out of me. And then when I had my heart attack, I couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. And not only that, we were also sometimes, depending on the event, running painting classes and stuff like that. So we had to get the teachers together, and we had to run the payments because people paid to take classes and stuff like that. It was a huge thing. So yeah, 54 punchies. Just said it right there. You never know when you're going to need a helmet. it's LA, man. It's LA when when everyone mobs up, you gotta don your armor, go out on the horse, chop people with your sword. You know, it's LA. Again, that wouldn't be weird. It's because it's LA. So. Wolf and Beer asks, is it bad to leave my lights on for 12 hours? That's a lot. Is it bad? Not really, but it is bad if you get algae bloom. Because leaving the lights on that long will create algae. So that's the main problem. It's not going to really affect your fish. Your plants will just run more every day. They'll run photosynthesis more every day. 12 hours is fine as long as you don't get algae. I haven't been running into algae, but I do have a big crew, including autos, flying fossils, and mono. Okay, so you have a big cleaning crew. If you want to keep it on 12 hours and it's not affecting, like you're not getting major algae blooms, I'll go for it. All right, but don't be surprised if you do running at 12 hours. Okay, I'm assuming you're also running CO2 maybe, and possible. I don't know what kind of lighting you have, but are you running CO2? Are you dosing your tank? You have to keep all that in mind. Okay, if you find that you're getting algae blooms or something, you're gonna have to turn that down to maybe 8 hours. I run all my tanks around 8 hours. So. Joseph, you have dirty tank. Hey, dirty tank's the way to go, man. But if you already set up your tank. In all my tutorials on the dirty tanks, I always suggest putting clay just to give your plant, your root growers iron. It's a great way to give your root growers iron by doing that. Alright, I thought it's iron, but no, it's partly iron, but not as much. But it's mainly highlighting. If you hit red plants with intense lighting, it'll get more red. That's what all us aquascapers want. So you have to pay more attention to lighting than iron itself. Iron does help. Like I said, it contributes part of it, and plants need iron just to grow itself. So don't skimp on that. But your main focus should be to make red plants more red is more intense lighting, and for your own benefit, a color temperature that will bring out the reds. For example, more red color temperature in your light, like 3000 kelvins or 3000 kelvins will make the light more red, but it'll also make your plants more red. So there's that other thing too that you have to think about when you're aquascaping, is understanding the color of the temperature of your lights. Kelvins don't do anything much for plant growth, but what it does is it gives us humans, the perception of how the tank looks overall. Okay, that's why a lot of people go with daylight. We say daylight color temperatures on our lighting, because most of Aquarius that do plant tanks are all green, and green pops with daylight. Okay, but when you have a tank that's very full of reds, full of oranges and stuff like that, just like autumn, when you're looking at autumn, the sunlight's more red. The color temperature from the sunlight's more red in fall. So everything's so red, right? You get that vibrant red. So you can replicate that in your tank by getting a light that has a lower Kelvin rating than daylight, which is about 6,500 kelvins. Okay, so you could go 4,000 kelvins, 5,000 kelvins, but that's a little harder to buy a kit for, because not many people want to make that, because not many people would buy that. But you can make it yourself. You can rig up a LED to do it, or you can go out and do what I do, which is really cheap to do, is go out and get a floodlight grow light. All right, a grow light has a a grow light, a floodlight form. Okay, those do work. What people use that for is growing plants, like horticulture, right? Not actually growing in the water, but it works for us just as well, and it's very cheap, right? If you go on Amazon, you look at, you know what? Let's just do that right now. Let's go to Amazon, right? And hopefully, I'm not showing anything. Yep. All right. Not showing porn. That's good. Okay, so if you do a search on grow lights, you get tons of stuff, right? So you have grow lights here. You have different setups. I think the one that I do buy is form factor. Let's see here. Yeah, these. You can get grow lights. I think I have this actually. And I was testing that on my 20 gallon long. It works well. It gives your plants the right reds, all right, in the radiation spectrum to grow really bushy and out, okay? If you watch my lighting series, I explain it all there about the colors of the light, blue, green, red, and how it affects the plant growth. All right, the actual radiation color, not the actual color temperature that we always talk about or look at the packaging. It says 7K color temperature, right? That only helps us in what we see in our tank. It doesn't help plant growth. For plant growth, though it's very related, is the radiation of blues, reds, and greens. Again, I explain that all in my lighting series. But as I explained to a lot of people, and I haven't made a video about it, and I will soon, is how to go really cheap on lighting and make spectacular plant growths. Right? It's a little more of a very poor man's setup, but for the price you get and you grow a massive amount of plants, it's the best way to do it. What you do is get something like this, and you have to rig up how to, set up the light, depending how big your tank is. I would get like for say a 100-gallon tank, I'll get maybe 2 of these. Well, it's 1500 watt. Wait, that might be a little too big. Well, for a 100-gallon tank, that might be just perfect. So you get 2 of these, and then you just get regular daylight flood lamps that will give you the green spectrum, green and blue spectrum. Right? Get 2 of 100 watts. Floodlight, daylight. Alright, and then you get something like this that shoots out 100 watts, shoots out daylight color. Well, this is 3000K. Never mind. That's going to be really red. It's going to look red in your tank. So you want something that's, here we go, 5000K. Just to give you that white light, right? So then you kind of mix that red light with that red light of the grow light, and then you just kind of adjust to that. And then you'll just get really cheap grow lights. Like for a 100-gallon tank, you get 2 of these. You get a 2-pack here for 100 watts for $70, right? And then you just go back to grow light. Where are we? And then get 2. Well, see, 1500 might be a lot. So if you go with something like 500 watt, let's see what we got. 600 watt. Here we go. This one's a little more expensive because of the way they made the housing. So it's 139. So if you need 2 of those, it'd be a little expensive. But we could go cheaper than that. There's a 2-pack 50 watt. But again, on a 100-gallon, you might need something that's that powerful. So again, you can shop around and get it. It's a little ghetto of a setup, but it will work. Okay, and then you have to rig up how to mount the lights and stuff like that. If you have it hanging from your ceiling, it will work great. Then you can just mount it on your ceiling. But that works extremely well. We'll make a video about it sooner or later. Sorry, lots of talking. One second here. My chat froze. Oh, where are we? Yeah, I remember the helmet talk. Oh, well, yeah, I went totally full on the Wolf and Beer question there. Hey, Ralph Cardrell, welcome to the chat. Wolf and Beer, have you ever had a tank with miniatures initially? What do you mean by that? Like miniature fish? Set. JH, do you know if you're going to Chicago for Aquascaping? Most likely, yes. So let me know what your plans are if you guys are doing that tour and stuff. I contacted my sponsor up there, not for the aquatic stuff, but for my tabletop gaming, and he said I could stay at his house, and he has a car that I could use, so that cuts down on the fundage that I would need to go to Aquascaping. I just have to pay for the tickets. which is going to cost about $400. Might be able to find it cheaper somewhere. But yeah, most likely I will go. That's not going to be a problem anymore if I do it that way. So I haven't even checked the hotel room, how much it will cost. Maybe I will get a hotel room just to be close to everyone. He's about 20 minutes out. So, hey, Daniel Garcia, welcome to the chat. Edgar Castellanos, what are your favorite short stem plants like S. repens? Actually, S. repens are my favorite. Pogo helophyes are one of my favorites too. S. repens, if you've seen my 20-gallon long Dutch, that's what I use as my carpet, actually. Love those. The Billias are really good too, but they're not stem. Neither is repens, really. Pogo hellfire might be. If you're talking about... Yeah, they're stemmy, I guess you can say that. It's really hard sometimes to classify them nowadays. But I have a lot of favorites. It's really hard to just narrow down to one. My all-time favorites are always going to be swords. I love swords. They're easy to grow. They have a lot of variety, and I love the way they look, especially in a really big tank. So, Vernid guy, if you have highlight CO2, your red plants are red, then iron would be needed, but it's nutrient, so it really falls down on proper photosynthesis. That's it, pretty much. Oh, gotta go. All right, talk to you later, red guy. What do you think about the Chihiro RGB light? Okay, now I heard a lot about that. I haven't used it personally, so I can't really give you my take on that. But a lot of people that I've talked to that talked about this light said it worked really well for them. So I'm gonna have to pick up one just to see how it is. They're pretty cheap. So when I set up probably my another tank sooner or later, I'll probably try to pick up a kit and do a review on it. So now the Fluvo 3.0, I love the Fluvo 3.0. I have the Fluvo 2.0s. The only difference between those two that I understand is versus the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, which I don't use on either of them. But the Fluvo 2.0 works great. I have two of them on my 40-gallon tank, 40 breeder gallon, and they worked great when I had that tank going. Excellent light. Again, I'm a Phoenix guy too, so I love my Phoenix, but Fluvo makes a hell of lights. The 3.0 is planted, really good. 70 Indian Zombie. Is barbecue lava rock safe for putting under substrate to form a hill? Yes. Yes, it's not a problem. I actually use it for my biomedia in all my filters. So they work excellent. They work great for forming hills. To make your aquascaping stuff, put it in a mesh bag so you don't have them falling over. You need to put them in a mesh bag so they don't, roll down and stop making a hill. Put them in a mesh bag and it's good. And it's also very good because it acts like a filter after a while because all the beneficial bacteria will hang out there. Just make sure you don't have any air in it. You want to get rid of any air in your substrate, right? Otherwise you have anaerobic pockets, and that's bad for fish. And it goes bloop bloop. Oh, what are you talking about, Mel? Yeah. You know what? I had a plan to do one, but I didn't want it because I'm not a gimmicky guy. I'm not a guy that likes gimmicky tanks. But I was planning to do something like that, but then I started getting out of doing all the miniature stuff. So I decided not to because I just don't want to be reminded of the memories. The horrible, not horrible memories. No, I just didn't want to do a gimmicky tank. So I just decided not to. But I was planning to do a whole underwater scene with the miniatures. I would have paint them and stuff. I was trying to figure out how to seal them. But the paint that I use, which I don't have in here right now, are acrylic base. So they wouldn't hurt the fish. But I still wouldn't want any of it leaching out into the water. So I was going to do something like that. But that would take a lot of work because miniature painting is a pain in the butt. You take it's a lot. It takes a long time. You take a little miniature like this, right? And you have to paint it up and try to make it look as realistic as you can. Before you paint it, the miniature looks something like. What happened? There's a wing to a vehicle, but they're just gray, right? Then you would prime it. Oh, don't want to lose that. You you would prime it, and then you would paint up little, figures. It could be little figures like this. It could be vehicles and stuff like that. But yeah, but if I was to do a whole scene of it, I would have to paint up all these little space marines. That's what they call them, space marines, and do all these vehicles and stuff. And it would, first of all, it would cost a lot of money because these miniatures are not cheap. All right, something like one vehicle, like this thing I have here. That was the wing of. Right, this little vehicle here, it cost me like $70 for a kit. So I'm gonna take $70, make it, paint it all up, and then destroy it. Make it look like it's been in battle, and then seal it and put it underwater. And I'm gonna need like 3 or 4 of these, right? Just to make a whole battle scene out of it. And then I'm gonna make hundreds and paint hundreds of little miniatures, of little miniature space marines, which I don't have any out right now. Depicting this whole scene. So it would have took way too much time and way too much money. So I just didn't want to do it. I started my DSM dwarf hairgrass carpet last week. Yay! Good for you, buddy. Glad to hear it. Yeah, well, good luck. Hope it does good. Tampa Tom said, I have 3 3.0s. Love them so much. Yeah, they're really good lights. Really did good on it. Yes, got the mesh bags. Thank you. Yes. Yes, you need to use the mesh bags, but yeah, it's a great way to do it. Alright, just make sure you again, get all the air bubbles out if there are any, and you'll have your heels. And it worked really, really excellent. One more question. Is silicone good for gluing dragon stone together? Yeah, but you make sure you get the silicone that is aquarium safe. But yeah, you can do that. It's no problem. You can, if you want, use crazy glue, but it probably won't hold dragonstone together, especially if it's all built up together. So yeah, probably your best bet is to use silicone and do it. Just make sure you get the aquarium safe silicone. Okay. Wow, no more chat messages, guys. No more questions. Well, I think that's about it, guys. I think I might close this up. I don't know how long we've been going. Almost for an hour already. So actually an hour already. But hey, I love you guys. And remember, if you're in Southern California, make sure you attend Scape next month. The meet, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun, like always. Show up, say hi. Please say hi. I know a lot of you guys tend to like message me later on and say, hey, I saw you at this event, but I didn't want to say hi because you look busy and stuff. I'm never too busy just to say hi and even talk and stuff like that. It's not a problem. If you see me running around a camera doing something, just say hi. I'll do what I've done, and when I'm done, I'll come talk to you. It's not a big deal. I always love you guys. You guys make the channel what it is. You guys actually watch the crap that I make. So, what can I say? I just got a Fluo 3.1. What's the best setting? I have Viva Grow before. I don't know. I can't tell you what the best setting is. I can only tell you what the best setting is for how you have your tank set up, and that you can only find that out by seeing how your plants grow. All right. I'd always, depending on, I don't know what you have in your tank, so I can't really tell you. But I usually start at something like 70%, depending on what's in your tank, and then see how your plants grow. And if I need to, I'll up it. All right. Wait a week or two and see how the plants grow, and then either give it more intensity or less intensity, right? The color temperature, again, you can adjust the color temperature on the FluVolf 3.0. It's really your aesthetics, not the plants. Okay, so that's really up to you. If you want to make it more red, make it more red. We'll make it more blue, make it more blue, to get whatever effect that you're trying to get. Just Stella, thanks, Rob. No problem. That's what I'm here for. You. Dan Garcia, what do you think about surface agitation and pumps? I love it. Extremely love it. All right. If you watch my CO2 series, especially for planting tanks, you'll know that I say that you want surface agitation, not like a freaking waterfall, right? But you want the waves and stuff. All right. Even if you're injecting CO2, okay. And I explain all that in my CO2 series and why it's important to have that for oxygen. Well, not oxygen, for gas exchange. All right. It's going to be a lot just to get into it, but if you have the surface agitation, it'll promote more gas exchange. That means more oxygen will go into your tank, more CO2 will also go into your tank, as well as more CO2 and more oxygen will go out of your tank. But that's really dependent on your tank and how much oxygen and CO2 is currently in it. You will cap. There's a point where you will cap how much CO2 will be held in your tank based on the pressure of your tank and the temperature of your tank. Okay, so you can't go beyond the limit. Okay, anything after that, it's gonna just gas off anyways. Okay, so having that oxygen, that gas exchange, helps you equalize the differential between oxygen and CO2, so you don't gas your fish. All right, a lot of people say, well, don't have surface agitation, or you lose all your CO2. You're gonna lose your CO2 regardless, and you want your CO2 to be lost. There's no point in trying to keep it all in tank. If you need that much CO2 to make your plants grow, then pump that much CO2 in your tank. But it will still leave it. Let it leave. I don't know why people are so worried about CO2 leaving your tank. It's gotta happen. It's part of the process, right? And having as much CO2 in your tank for the plants to take, I understand that part. But you're still gonna have that. If you're running a stream of CO2, a certain stream of CO2, let's just say in our language, 2 bubbles per second, it's just going to constantly give you that stream of CO2, giving that CO2 level in your tank based on that. Okay, and regardless whether you have surface agitation or not, it's still going to leave. Okay, but your stream of CO2 is going to be there. Okay, you're not going to lose more, you're going to lose less. The most important thing is that you have to remember not to destroy any of your life in your tank because you pumped in too much CO2 because you think that the surface agitation is bad, right? It's not bad. The other thing is there's a lot more factors about how much CO2 can be held in your tank based on the pressure of your tank, based on the temperature of your water. The warmer the water, the more CO2 is going to leave your tank, and the more O2 is going to leave your tank as well. All right, so you got to watch the temperature, the pressure of your tank. You put the lid on, you're going to get more pressure, so it's going to hold more CO2, O2 in your tank. Now, you can pump as much CO2 in your tank as long as you have enough O2 in the tank as well. All right, you have to maintain that balance, okay? So the reason why I always suggest doing surface agitation, at least some waves in there, is to promote that gas exchange. You're going to lose CO2 regardless or not. I don't know why people are being so stingy and cheap about their CO2. They're like, oh, I get to pump more CO2 in my tank, so I don't have to. That, man, whatever, man. You got to do what you got to do, but again, I always promote surface agitation. And again, that's what Daniel Garcia's follow-up question is. Would you lose too much CO2 with that? Watch my CO2 series. I explained it in there. It's about balance more than losing too much CO2. You're not going to lose too much CO2. You're not going to gain more CO2. You can't pump that much CO2 if your tank can't hold that much. And there's a certain point where equilibrium, where you have the O2 that much, you're going to have CO2 that much. And the only biggest problem is if you pump too much CO2 in your tank, in a point where it's just so quick, it's going to gas your fish. Okay? As long as you be patient with it and do it slowly, everything's going to be okay. And if you have that surface agitation, it's always going to promote that gas exchange and not overhold too much of it. If that makes sense. Oh, cool. You're from Cali and your family there. Nice. San Diego. Gorgeous place. I love San Diego. Reef. ADA multi-bottom or iron bottom? Whatever works for you. ADA multi-bottom, though, costs a lot of money. So, yeah. Can you use styrofoam in the aquarium to build plant? Yes, you can. In fact, I was thinking about doing that. A lot of thing about my tabletop gaming aspect of it is that you have to build terrain for playing your games on. And I build these terrains out of styrofoam and stuff like that, paint them up, make them look like hills, rocks and stuff like that. And when I noticed people making their custom 3D backgrounds, they're using styrofoam and carving that stuff out. And I'm like, dude, I'm an expert at doing that stuff. So I was like, maybe one day I'll do one. That'll be really cool. Take styrofoam and just build a whole 3D background and stuff about it. I think Joey did a video on that too, and he made a whole tree trunk looking thing. It was really cool. A lot of people do that too. If you search on YouTube, you'll find that people use styrofoam for building up landscape in their tanks, specifically a 3D background. So yeah. Oh, nice! Your Dragon Son just got delivered now. Nice. Does Amazon Light leach less ammonia?
I can't tell you. I never used Amazon Light. Amazonia Light. I'm not entirely sure what is in Amazonia Light. I used to use the regular stuff. I stopped using it when I switched a lot to soil because soil is much cheaper and gives you the same effect. So I just went that way. So I can't tell you much about ADA Amazonia Light. Sorry about that. Zombie dude. Bearded Bob's Fish Room. Hey, what's up, FishTube? Hey, how you doing, Bearded Bob? Glad to see you today. I hope you're doing good. Gotta highlight feature him there. But yeah. Yeah, you caught me at the end of the stream. I'm about to go bye-bye. You know? Just answering some last questions. Any other questions that other people have. But, again, I'm going to try to close it out again. Again, Scape meet next month, July 21st. I'll be doing a presentation on aquascaping there as well. And come out, have some fun. Cole is actually doing a wonderful job of pushing the club into the next era, I guess to say. And I like what he's doing. So we're going to see a lot of good things coming from it. So I might be a lot more involved with the club. I don't know. We'll see. But again, guys, love you guys. I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Have fun with your tanks. No, Leaf, I don't have experience with the Fluval 88G, but I know how it works. And it does okay. I mean, if you want, it's a little expensive though. That's my question. I'm supposed to leave, but I'm not leaving here. I have everything for a rescape. I used organic soil, but nutrients only lasted a good year. Really, organic soil? My soil is lasting for a while now. It's been over 2 years now for my soil, so I'm not sure. Really, I guess it really depends on the brand. So yeah. Again, I love you guys. I'm gonna close out right now before anyone asks another question. But I love this. I'll do a lot more of this probably next week. On Saturday. Oh, Saturday is July 4th. So I may or may not do it. The next day I'm meeting up with Cole. We're going to do a video about him. I want to do these spotlights with the other aquascapers or other aquarists, right? That don't have a YouTube channel. They might have Instagram, whatever. But I'd like to, show off some other aquarists and stuff. See what they do and stuff. So yeah, in closing, I love you guys. Talk to you guys later.